Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro friends. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Elixir of Specialty Coffee. Looks like whiskey, feels like tea, made from coffee, and unlike anything you've ever tasted before, Elixir is available at elixirspecialtycoffee.com. Head there and use code IMAPAFORWARD to get 10% off of your first order today. Today on the Daily Coffee Pro, we're talking about the concept behind your brand. Remember, a brand isn't just for people who own a business. A brand is also for people who are employees that are looking to be out there to market themselves as a brand and potentially turn that into a business one day. So, one example of that would be somebody who was looking to compete as they're moving up through the ranks in competition. They aren't quite a business yet, but they're looking to promote their brand. Now, I was speaking with some clients yesterday about this idea behind concept and why it's so important. And this, they found it's not something that concept isn't something that a lot of people in our industry consider when it comes to putting together their business. And concept is hugely important, particularly as we become more and more saturated as an industry. So what is your concept? What is the idea of a concept and why is it so important? So the concept behind a brand is pretty much the seed that you are going to be using all of your efforts in business to cultivate. The concept is, and how you understand, how you would explain what your concept is you would say, we are a roastery that. And what comes after that is the concept behind what you're doing. We are a roastery that only roasts naturals. We are a roastery that only roasts Ethiopian coffees. We are a cafe that only employs people with disabilities. We are a cafe that serves only 90 plus coffees. We are a cafe that X, Y, and Z. Okay, so the statement that comes after the that is the thing that states what your concept is. And it is the guiding force behind everything that you're going to do. It will set the standards and help you make decisions around what it is that you are intending on achieving with this business, or delivering rather than achieving. Same. But it's important that you go to the effort of considering, even if you've already opened your business, it's important for you to understand what the concept is behind what you're doing. 90% of the business owners that are out there in coffee have no concept. And they're wondering why they're walking around like blindly through their business, trying to figure out why they can't find more business. Well, the reason is because you haven't defined a concept that differentiates you out from other businesses. And I talk a lot about this with my clients because having a concept helps you find who your primary customer is. I call them avatars. So having the concept, let's say you were you have decided to have a subscription service. We are a coffee subscription service that sells, how do you put this? We are a coffee subscription service that is the equivalent of fine dining coffee, but through a subscription service. Okay, let's use that as an example. That is going to, knowing that you are the fine dining equivalent of coffee, means that you have decided that you will have to, if you're going to be able to meet that concept, all of your branding will need to look very expensive. or your packaging will need to look very expensive. But the great thing about it is you will know exactly who your customer is. You won't be looking to target customers that buy Trader Joe's coffee or cheap Starbucks coffee in a supermarket. You know that's not your target market. Your concept helps you understand exactly where you need to be targeting to find your customer. And it will help you understand the initial capital you'll need and the working capital that you'll need in order to access the right people. Your concept will give you an understanding of the kind of back-end business you're going to need, or back-end business structure you're going to have to set up with regards to your organizational structure. So if you're looking to target people who are very rich and spend a lot of money, having a back-end team that understand that mindset is going to be very important. Trying to sell things to a market that you have no idea about is never a good idea. You better be able to, if you are going to do that, you better have lots of money to spend on lots of marketing companies that will be able to teach you how to market towards those people, how to brand towards those people, how to talk to those people. Similarly, if you want to target a specific age group, if you want to target anything in particular, if you want to target millennials and don't know how to speak millennial, you're going to find it very difficult because people will see through your bullshit. And that's something that is a quick way for a brand to fail. So how do you come up with your concept? And this is a really fun one, but frustrating for a lot of my clients. Typically because a lot of them haven't even thought about the idea of a concept before we start working on their business. So whether you're a business owner or whether you're an employee and someone that's just trying to separate themselves out from the pack, the concept is the way to do that. How you figure out what your concept is can be a journey, and it can take some time to actually get to. The idea behind how you get to your concept is typically starts with the process of what is it that you want to do. I mean, and think of it this way. I just want to precursor this by saying, if you're looking at having a business for a year, then your concept is going to be very different than having a business or a brand for 10 years. Some people want to open a pop-up, get it going, and close it down in a year. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Understand what your concept is behind doing that and milk the shit out of it for the 12 months that you know you're going to be there. And concepts are much easier to run if they're a 1-year pop-up concept. But if you're going for the long game with regards to a concept, the best place to start is, what do I want to achieve over the next 10 years? What kind of business do I want to bring to the world? A roastery that does X, Y, and Z. A cafe that does X, Y, and Z. A bottled beverage company that does X, Y, and Z. If it's from a career perspective, I want to have a kind of career that looks like X, Y, and Z. If you want to go into the specifics, if you want help going into the specifics about that for your business or your brand, I'm happy to just set up some consult time with me and I'll run deep into that with you. But the idea behind it is figure out what comes after that, and then with a thought experiment, run all of the different ways that you can take that and build more of it. So if you take a concept and you can only run with that concept creatively for 12 months or 2 years, the concept's not developed enough. The concept needs to be something that you can keep building off and keep growing off. And I like to use the analogy that you've got this seed that is your concept. Once you figured out what that is, you hope that you plant that seed, and if it's the right seed, you've selected the right soil and you've built everything around it, once you've added water, that seed will start to grow. Now, the deeper the roots that seed can penetrate into the soil, the better foundation that your business is going to have. And that seed is going to germinate into a beautiful tree as the years go by. And that's what a concept needs to do for your business. If you do need any help with that, feel free to hit me up on through our website, mapperforward.org, or email me directly, lee@mapperforward.org. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.